So that is why I say there is no health without mental health. It is important for us to know that every 40 seconds, one person dies of suicide. And it's also important to know that women have 3 times risk of attempting suicide. While we know that majority of men will not ask for help because of the popular notion that says real men don't cry. It's also important for us to note that mental illness is highly stigmatized in this place. Nobody should move near you because you are dangerous. People believe that when you have mental illness, you shouldn't live within the populace because you can you are dangerous and you can infect them with the mental illness. People also believe that mental illness is not curable, neither can it be managed through orthodox medicine, without realizing that mental illness is actually a problem of the brain. This is the brain. The same way we have the heart, we have the liver, we have the kidney, and they can all have problems. So also the brain can have problems. When the brain has problem, it will manifest in many ways. 1, it can manifest in form of the way you think. 2, it can manifest in form of the way you talk and you behave. And 3, it can manifest in your mood. The mood may be irritable, angry, or you may be sad for no reason. It's also important for us to know that brain is not only for movement, for posture, and co. It is also important that we know that this is our seat of intellect. This is the mind. This is not your mind. This is the mind. Center of reasoning. Center of action. That is the brain. On that note, I welcome us this evening to Mind Matters with Dr. Nubi. How has our week been? You are a winner. The last time I was there was 2 weeks ago. And if we can still see again, many have gone, many are ill, and we just pray that God will heal them. As we say in medical parlance, we care and only God heals. And we say in psychiatric parlance, there is no health without mental health. Do you know that mental illness is also called emotional illness? Do you know that mental illness is also called nervous breakdown? Do you know that mental illness is also called brain stress? Do you know that mental illness is also called behavioral disorder? Do you know that mental illness is not madness? Do you know mental illness is not craziness? Do you know mental illness is not colomental? Do you know that anybody can have mental illness? Do you know that mental illness is no respecter of age, gender, or background? The poor can have it. The rich also cry. It's also important for you to know that anybody, whether young, whether old, whether you're a female, whether you're a male, anybody can have mental illness. If you know that mental illness is just like hypertension, mental illness is just like asthma, arthritis, then you will treat those who have mental illness with respect. You will be empathetic towards their cause. You will not stigmatize. Stigmatization is a big deal. Why is it that people come to us like a thief in the night? Why is it that people don't really want anyone to know that they are going through emotional illness? Because of the stigma that we have subjected mental illness to. You rather support someone that has malaria, typhoid. You rather run around and carry them to the hospital. But if you discover that they have emotional illness, how do you treat them? Great question. My name is Dr. Olusegun Peter Ogunobi, and I do this every Friday as part of my corporate social responsibility. According to my Hippocratic Oath that says, "Why I practice my heart, that may be given to me to enjoy life. And in solitude, I will practice my heart and know my cause. And I will use my knowledge to help the community." This is my mental health knowledge, and this is what I'm doing. Since January this year, I've started this course. Every Friday, people join me on Instagram. Sometimes I include Facebook, and I talk about mental health. Most of the times, the topic are not fashioned. I keep repeating almost the same thing. But the truth is that those who joined last week or a week before may not be my audience now. And so, repeating myself is not something I'm apologetic about. We'll continue to tell people, because every time I come to this my clinic, Grace Cottage here in Ilupeju, Lagos, where what I do purely is mental health management, I hear a lot of stories, and I still ask myself, is it that these people are not listening to me? But the truth is that it's not everybody that is on Instagram. Therefore, I always advise my listeners, my viewers, to please always copy the link. Why is it so fast for us to copy the news about somebody's death? Why is it so fast for us to copy the link where there are multiple accidents? The gossip about somebody's failure, the gossip about somebody's marriage that is breaking down. But when it comes to helping our neighbors, when it comes to helping people that are going through emotional illness to get information such as this, we just don't copy the link. Ask yourself, are you a messenger of evil or you are a carrier of good news? It's important. All you need to do is, at the end of this broadcast or in a live Instagram live, I will post it on my Instagram TV IGTV, and there you see it on my Instagram page. Copy the link, put it in all your contacts, WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatsoever. You never know. Somebody will watch and the person will be blessed. The person will find solution. We have discussed several topics since January. If you are just joining us for the first time today, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. This is my crib here at the Ilupeju, Lagos, Grace Cottage Clinic. And I want to appreciate you for joining this Instagram live. Another thing you need to do is follow me on Instagram. Click the notification icon so that I do not have to notify you anytime I'm going on live. It will automatically tell you that Dr. Ogunobi is live. Do these two things. Share among your friends, share with your contact, and also follow me on Instagram. It's not enough to just be carriers of bad news and gossips. It's also very important, if not importanter, to also talk to people about their mental health. You have seen the statistics of mental health, and you agree with me that it's very bad. 50 million Nigerians are suffering from one emotional problem or the other. 50 million. 50 million. It's not until when people begin to run on the street. It's not until when they begin to smell their ears with feces. It's not until when they begin to wear tattered clothes. It's not until when they begin to smile and laugh to themselves. That is when you acknowledge that they have mental illness. Mental illness is as simple as inability to sleep, poor mood or low mood, very irritable mood, or elated, unnecessarily happy mood. Mental illness includes being suspicious of people around you. You are never at ease. You believe people are up to something bad. You believe people are talking about you, or objects are making reference to you. It's also important to know that addiction is a form of mental illness. You want to stop addiction. Is it to pornography, internet addiction, gambling? What is it that you are addicted? Food? These are the things that are in the purview of mental illness. What about undue fear, panic? What about anxiety? What about obsessive compulsive disorder? You find yourself repeating an action over and over. These are the things that we manage here. So if you still have a mindset that, mental illness is somebody that is wearing dirty clothes and is roaming the streets, then you got it twisted. So it's also important that you know that this brain is an organ in the body. The organ in the body can be affected. Therefore, don't think only hypertension, diabetes, arthritis are medical conditions. Mental illness is also a medical condition. And to be sincere and to be candid, the knowledge is increasing. People are now getting more and more knowledge. People now know that, if my mother is talking anyhow, or is forgetful, or accusing the carer that we sent to go and be taking care of her, probably mama is becoming demented. Or if my father is becoming, irritable, he doesn't want to take care of himself, he wants to wander around, he keeps forgetting things, we will call Baba, and the next moment, Baba will say, it's been a lot, you people did not call me for many years. Meanwhile, we still spoke with him sometimes, just a day or two. Baba is having dementia. That knowledge is increasing now. People now know that they need to bring their elderly ones to Grace Cottage or any other private hospital that are specialized in mental illness. So the knowledge is increasing because we continue to have discussions like this. In those days, they would say it's an attack of the devil. Last week, I started a series. We talk about spirituality and mental illness. And the truth is that we concluded that spirituality or religion and mental illness are not mutually exclusive. You cannot have emotional illness and say that you don't want to take drugs and that you don't have any problem. No. Most of the time, they go hand in hand. They are complementary. We care, God heals. You can't take your medication and you can also pray. After all, the discovery of medicine is God that made the discovery to be possible. This is the explanatory model, and that is what we discussed 2 weeks ago. And we said, come, don't treat one and neglect the other. So if my patient wants to pray, I pray with them. If they want to read the Bible, I give them the Bible to read. If they want to read Quran, I give it to them. I do not say no, forget about God. This is pure sickness. I will never do that. Because we have discovered that spirituality also helps people, and it has helped patients to recover fast in many instances. In the same manner, I will reject and I will disagree with any patient that says they are not going to take medication and that they will be healed. I've seen cases where patients will tell me that they will be healed. And I say, you know what? When God healed the lepers, he told them, he said, go and show yourself to the priest. When God heals you, he will tell you to go and show yourself as evidence. So if you are healed indeed, I happen to be priest this time around, custodian of health, and I'm the one that will say, oh, are you okay or not? So it is very important. You cannot, the herbs, everything were made by God for the benefit of mankind. It is a balanced approach. You don't say, oh, mental illness is arrow of the enemy, and therefore this and that. And I told the story of the person that came to my clinic and said she said the son has been hit with 7 arrows, and that spiritually they've been able to remove 3. And I said she should come in. and we were able to remove the remaining 4. What did we use? Medication and counseling, which we call psychotherapy. Simple. Simple. In some cases, you don't argue with them. You just tell them, come in. So it is important for us to know, as we round up to, and this is very important because research have shown that people delay in coming for help because of 2 major reasons. 1, stigmatization. 2, the belief that mental illness is a spiritual. Something. The causation, they say, an attack of the devil. I'm mad. They will say I'm colo. They will say I'm this. Don't let it delay you from coming for help. You know why I'm begging you? It has been shown statistically that the more you delay in seeking help, the more the brain gets damaged. And the more the brain gets damaged, the worse the prognosis. What is prognosis? Prognosis means outcome. It means outcome. If something is just affecting this area, maybe the person within a month will be okay and the brain will be functioning normally. But imagine it's affecting this area, it's extending here, it's extending here. The person is losing his function. Maybe this is somebody that used to be a class student. After a while, he will not be able to be able to operate, or he will not be able to cope in school. And before you know it, he will be a dropout. Or this person used to be, top managerial position. Because of emotional illness, the person will be down. The person will not be able to function. And that is why it is important that thank you so much, Tomori, my brother. Tomori actually is my friend. He's a pharmacist, and we did our masters together. Okay, thanks so much. I forgot this time around to acknowledge my teaming viewers who came in today. Michael Tomori, thank you. Shegun, how are you? Yanni Logo, Michael, Official Beke, Henry Richard, Femola, Eniola Goddess, Bella, Ebere, everyone. I mean, so many today. Thanks for joining, and I will just appeal to us that you go through my page. I have discussed several things since this year started. This is the 9th month of doing this. We have talked about stress management, part 1, 2, 3. We have talked about overcoming addiction, how to identify that you are addicted and how to get out of it. And we have talked about how to maintain cleanness, how to be in clean health after you've been rehabilitated. We've talked about depression. We have talked about suicide. We have talked about assertive training. We have talked about overcoming grief, bereavement, and loss. We have talked about moving on after you have been disappointed. What is it that we have not talked about? We have talked about anxiety. Even though I've not really treated anxiety very well, we'll talk about anxiety one of these days. We've talked about spirituality and mental illness. On this particular live, I have brought in 2Bs. He has shared his experience with us. On this particular live, I've spoken with Victor, a very prominent young psychiatrist in New York, who is leading the young psychiatrists all over the world. I've spoken with Ajimobi when we discussed the psychological effect of rape. We have spoken a lot since January. And the truth is this. Yes, Enela, I will definitely talk more about anxiety and depression. Believe me, I think that is very important now. People are anxious. People are just, so as I'm scrolling, I'm seeing, and I can tell you, I'm going to talk about anxiety and depression. Go through my page, scroll down, you will see some of these things. Before it used to be 1 hour, 15 minutes, but I'm trying to just streamline everything. Within 30 minutes, let me do what I want to do and get out. And I'm cooking up something, guys, and I will let you know when it is fully cooked. But till then, I hope with these few messages and few words of mine, I've been able to convince and not to confuse you that there's no health without mental health. It pains to go, but so many things to do. I believe the few that I've said today will ring a bell, will further expose our mind so that we no longer deny existence of mental illness. We will not stigmatize those who have it. We will present on time, and we will also not begin to see mental illness from the spiritual angle alone, but we'll see it from both the spiritual and medical angle. Thank you once again for coming. It's so painful to go away. I don't feel like going, but I just have to go. Thank you, and bye-bye. Should you have any reason to call or you need help, please always call me. 09090 1055. 09090 1055. My secretary will pick, and then they will direct the line to me. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. No help.